Hello and welcome back to RGM. Just a quick bites episode today on my recent Star Wars figure purchases. For those of you who watched the channel before, you may remember that I came across a Hasbro Kenner line of vintage Star Wars figures in my local supermarket. I didn't actually know they started doing these again. Basically, Hasbro decided to re-release the original set of Star Wars figures. Well, not all of them. They basically did 7 figures in a wave. I started off collecting 4 figures in wave 2 that I've got in my local supermarket, as I mentioned before. Then the hunt started, obviously. I've got all 6 now from wave 2, apart from, there should be 7, altogether in wave 2. The only one I'm missing is Luke Skywalker in X-Wing gear. He actually comes bundled with a board game that nobody seems to be really bothered about, because you see quite a lot of those on eBay. But then I came across wave 1 here, which I never thought I would actually own, because it actually came out back in 2019. And it's 2021 now. They were going for quite a lot of money on eBay, and it kind of put me off of buying them because I didn't really want to pay a lot more than what they were originally when they came out, £10 each here in the UK. Again, there were 7 figures altogether in this set. The 7th figure is Grand Moff Tarkin, which I shall open shortly. That also comes with a board game that, again, nobody wants. There we go. Wow, there he is. That figure's actually never been done before in that style. There wasn't never a Grand Moff Tarkin figure in the first, or second or third wave back in the 70s and 80s. I do seem to remember having that game actually, Escape from the Death Star. That's the gameplay on the back there. But it was something I was never really bothered at as a child. Rather play with the figures themselves and obviously the ships. There he is. Grand Moff Tarkin. I like the way they've got the characters on the back there. You can see the card doesn't quite feel the same as the second wave. And the blister's thinner as well. And there's no plastic support on the back there. Nice figure to have though. I think I paid around about £18 for that in the game, with the game. So let's take a look at the figures themselves. Grand Moff Tarkin there, as we've already looked at. With this massive instruction sheet inside, goodness knows what's on that. Probably a load of health and safety bump, no doubt. Something we didn't get back in the 70s and 80s. Chewbacca, with his blue eyes. Han Solo, that was actually my first ever Star Wars figure when I was about 9 or 10 years old. Brings back a lot of memories, that does. There was a couple of variants of that. I think there was one with a bigger head, which looked quite peculiar actually. Mint condition Stormtrooper, not something you see, but there's something that old. Notice that these have a little casing around them to stop them from moving around inside the blister. Didn't have that on the originals. Darth Vader, I had him as well with Han Solo at the time when I was a kid. Princess Leia, which I don't think I ever had as a child. And then the Luke Skywalker figure I was talking about before, with his very bright yellow hair. So let's compare the packaging from wave 1 to wave 2. Obviously I've got Boba Fett there. That's that plastic on the back that I mentioned before to support the hook hole so it doesn't get torn. Wave 1 doesn't have that. And again, the card feels a lot thinner compared to wave 2. The blister as well seems to be deeper. Obviously Boba Fett's got a backpack on there, but even when you look at some of the other figures, quite shallow. Obviously you get a picture there of some of the figures. Compared to the second wave, there's no picture on the back of the figures at all. And the writing seems a little bit different. They are the same size as well. One of the things that struck me as well with this first wave of figures compared to the second wave was the Luke Skywalker figure. It seems really painted. I remember the first figure originally from 1978 being just moulded in that coloured plastic to match his outfit, apart from his legs. But again, there was some variants over the years. Let's have a look at the original Luke Skywalker compared to the remake. Obviously, like I said, I know this one's yellow, but his tunic is actually made of plastic, whereas on the new one it's actually painted on. Not a great paint job actually on the new one either. See the legs, the paint's gone over slightly. I don't know whether it's just because it's in the blister, but the newer one looks slightly bigger as well. Also, Luke's head looks a little bit bigger on the newer one compared to the old one. He's got a little dimple on his neck there as well on the right one. Well, there we have it. I now have a complete set of Wave 1 and a board game that I'll probably never play. I'm not quite as impressed with this wave of figures as I was the second wave. I don't think these are quite as good. The paint job's not as good, the packaging is not as good either. The blisters are slightly smaller, the card's thinner. There's no plastic loop on the eyelet at the back there. I know I'm probably going on about that, but it's all details, isn't it? And also, I'm still not keen on this old worn effect they've got going on around the edges. I wish they'd have just left them as they were originally, to be quite honest. I just need to get Luke Skywalker, as I mentioned before, now to complete Wave 2 in X-Wing gear, and then that will be done. Again, that's in another board game case. Apparently there's going to be a Wave 3 coming out soon, on the, the Mandalorian TV series. I would have thought they'd have done Return of the Jedi next, but so I don't know why they missed out on that. But the Mandalorian series is going to be in the same style as these, the original 1978 Kenner figures. So that will be interesting to see how they do those. Again, it's going to be 7 figures, and no doubt you'll have to go hunting for the 7th one in some kind of a board game. Well, I think that's just about the end of this episode. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you.